Kachunga, my friends, welcome to the show. We are going live as usual on the Saturday evening, 6 o'clock in the evening. Welcome to the show. My name is Trev the Rev, and I'm no vicar. Welcome to the show. Kachunga, 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 the word of the word I like to start the video with. I'll go out with a normal advertisement. If you enjoy the show, please press the like button. If you want to see more and you want to know what's coming out, hit that subscribe and especially ring that bell and you'll be told when it's coming out. Right, welcome to the show. As I said earlier on, welcome to the show. Let's start off with an announcement of the morning. Yeah, I wanted to do this announcement last week, but obviously I wasn't able to do it. But my first stream video, the first time, one of my videos, and it is the first stream video I've done, has now gone over the 100 subscription mark, 100 views. Hey, 100 people have watched my video. Wow, I am actually blown with this. When I started this all those 8 weeks ago now, I started doing this. I started doing live feeds 8 weeks. 8 weeks I've been doing these feeds for. I think it's about. I wasn't expecting this feedback on it. I was not expecting it to go the way it did. I am stunned by the reaction I've got from not just people who know me, but people who don't. 100 different people watching this one video by itself. I am stunned. I am blown. So I want to say thank you for all those that have been watching. Please watch more of these vids. Watch as many as you want. Join my journey. You never know. Things start small. You never know how this is going to go. And I have plans for these live feeds and stuff. Things go down the road. Please bear with me. And in time, things can only get better. There goes a song from the 80s straight into the mix. I think it was the 80s or was it from the 90s? I think it was Dream, I think it's on that. Things can only get better. Right, let's start off the show. Let's start off the show with some bad puns. I like bad puns. What did a fish say when it swam into a wall? How can a fish speak underwater? I don't know. Apparently, when it swam into a wall, went bam. What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? A can't opener. Oh dear, Jose. Did you hear about the Italian chef that died? He passed away. And the muffins were sitting in the oven. One turned to the other and said, "Wow, it's pretty hot in here." The one shouted, "Wow, a talking muffin." I sold my vacuum the other day. All it was doing was collecting dust. And there goes the old cloud thingy bob, the tumbleweed. Hey, the tumbleweed. Na na na. We're the tumbleweed. T. Right. That's the bad jokes out of the way. Let's get on with this show. Well, I was asked last week by a colleague. Actually, I'll give a shout out to the man straight away. Chris O'Neill, I want to give you a thanks straight away for suggesting the topic for tonight's show. Starchasers. The actual title of the actual live feed. Starchasers. Starchasers saving the universe. Hey, I know. I'm losing it. Most people who know me, there's lots of things about me that you know that I'm a trained to be a medium. I'm a massive believer in the ancient alien theories, other things that go around the world at the moment. Another thing that a lot of people don't realise about me, apart from wrestling, is that I'm a massive comic fan. To a point where I actually started writing and designing my own stuff. I'll get into that. This is all about how it started. Um, it's still in the works at the moment. It's got a long way to go, a hell of a long way to go. Pardon my voice. I'm just getting over a cold throat. Things I do for you guys. Things I do to make the show work. Starchasers, yeah. I started reading comics when a lot of people start when they're really, really young. Um, me, my intro to comics was Transformers, and obviously it's now known as Transformers UK. I never called it that. To me, it was just Transformers. I knew they did comics in America. I didn't know that some of the stories that's in the Transformers universe was actually American. No idea at all. And I was a bit surprised when I believe I was living in Northampton at the time. No, I tell a lie, I wasn't. I was coming to stay with my gran in Reading, and I got off the train, and I was just walking up to the main highway where you catch the buses in Reading. I popped into like an indoor market, and in one of the stores in this indoor market was a comic book store. It was a very small place. The bloke who owns it now, he's got a massive shop. Or he did have when I lived in Reading. I presume he's probably still there now. And when I was looking amongst his stuff, and I've been reading Transformers UK a long time before this happened, but my eyes were opened when I looked into the shop and I saw on the shelf, and I didn't pick this up straight away. They didn't really go to me at the moment, but for me, it was one comic in particular I saw, and it was a Transformers US comic I saw. And that's when I realised that we reprinted the stories done from the States. And I opened my eyes a little bit. It's like, wow, it's a brilliant condensed form of the story that we've read in two parts. Brilliant, brilliant. I didn't really have the time to look at his story fully. But as the years went on, and I discovered a shop in Northampton where I was living at the time, and I started reading comics from there and started getting the Transformers US regularly. Um, I wasn't really, I couldn't afford to buy comics the way I'd like to at the time. I only bought like one or two. I didn't really, really go out and go bang bang. I want that, want that, want that, want that. It was never like that. Um, when I lived in Northampton, I had just enough money coming in to pay rent and food. So money left over wasn't that much. It was not that much. So it was my monthly drill. One comic I'd get a month. Transformers US. Brilliant show. Kept me going brilliant. When I moved to Reading and I started getting more money coming in, um, it started when I was working in a supermarket. Across the road from the supermarket was a newsagent. I believe it's called Martin's. I'm not fully sure. I can't even tell you what part Reading it was. Anyway, I'm sort of in off the road a little bit. I had American comics in there for sale, and these are the ones that were sent to Britain, and then a company in Britain sold them to shops. So it wasn't an actual threat to the comic shops. It was an actual newsstand edition of the comics. And I started reading the Avengers, X-Men, Iron Man. I think some other ones I read at the time. God, I'm thinking of Fantastic Four, and it really opened my eyes. Really opened my eyes to the world of comics. And bear in mind, at that time, I wasn't. I'm not so I was sheltered, but I was very. I wasn't going out all the time. This gave me something to live. It sort of ignited my imagination, as I say. And as years went on, and I started regularly buying these comics for myself, I actually regularly. Fantastic Four was the first one I started with. That's the first what I call American comic I started with. Fantastic Four. Hey, Fantastic Four. Then I started reading stuff like the Avengers and Iron Man, properly reading them. There's one title at the time that I started to read, and it was called Power Pack. Power Pack sounds really stupid. It sounds a bit, yeah, yeah. Um, Power Pack sort of the way the story was told. It wasn't like a government team, super team. It wasn't a people who are. Hey, we got someone on the show. Like I say, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And I don't know. I can't explain what it was about Power Pack I liked. I just loved the idea of four kids who got their powers by being given them by transfer of energy from a dying alien. Sounds mad, doesn't it? An alien dies, passes his energy on to four kids who get powers, and then they find they got a destiny to save the Earth from destruction. Boom. Only thing can be told in the form of comic. Upon reading that, thank you for the like. Whoever's there, thank you for the like. Probably much appreciated. Um, blankety blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank. Reading Power Pack, nice, and I thought I could write something like this. I could, it really gave me the idea of writing my own stuff. And I used to work in at the time I was working in a car park in Reading, and I was working night shift. And not a lot you can do in a night shift. Hello, Donna, how you doing? My head, look, Donna, look at this, look. It's definitely busy and getting long. Getting very, very long. Getting very, very long. Welcome to the show, Donna. So, as I was saying, as I was interrupted by a young lady, um, I thought I'd start writing my own stuff. And because I only just started writing, the names were very, very tacky. And I invented five characters. Five characters. These are the five that I started with. I wanted to call the series Star Brats at the time. Star Brat, Star, and then B, comma, R, comma, A, comma, T, comma, S. And I thought, right, these will be like my own mechanically engineered kids who got their powers somehow. I hadn't even thought about putting symbiotes in them at the time. It was just, that was the idea. And I wanted to make words for the brats part of the word. That's being kids, but like biomechanical, robotic, blah, blah, blah. And after writing for about 4 or 5 weeks at the time, I couldn't think of words that BRATS could stand for. I'm sure you might come out with some. I'm sure you can. So I thought, well, this ain't going to work. So I looked in the story and I thought, what can I call these guys? And then after a while, Starchasers just come to me, and Star Brats became Star Chasers. And names I gave these guys, because they were Star Brats at the time. All their code names they went by had Star in it, and a lot of them are based on people that I knew when I was younger. And the five were connected through one character, which was the one based on me. Yes, there's one based on me. My one was called Speedstar at the time. And Speedstar sort of is the only one that carried his name forward into the stuff that I write nowadays. In a way, had it for about first page. There was also Skystar. No, I correct you. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was Airfly Star. Really bad names. I tell you, really bad names. There was CompuStar, Camustar, and what was the last one? I believe it was Star. It was War Star was the last one. And powers were basic as well. Speedstar, hence his name, could run really fast. That was it. Just run really fast. Nothing much to him. John, how you doing, me old mucker? Welcome to the show, John. John, you can chat with Donna. Donna, you can chat with John. There you go. You can start talking away and having fun whilst I'm doing the vid. So yeah, Speedstar could run very, very fast. Camu Star, camouflage star, Camu Star. Obviously, he can bend his skin into the colours around him. Airfly Star obviously could fly. I know. Well, I told you these were really bad characters at the time. CompuStar could become one with computers. I believe he's actually one of the few ones that's kept his name ongoing on the actual modern version. And Warstar, who got his name completely, I always try. What's your name? What's your Mrs. name, John? And I'll give her a shout out. Um, and Warstar was the only one who got his origin completely made over, and he was like energy based. He could construct energy constructs, you know. Another one joined the team called Star Down as the story went on. Again, he's kept his name. He's kept his name. I must have written, honestly, I must have written about 400 pages of this lot. It was bad. It wasn't the best writing. I was 18, 19. It was not going to be the best. His name is Good, good evening, Laura, my lady. How are we doing? I hope you enjoy the show. I'll be nice and polite for you. I won't make too much of a racket. I'll just chat away. Chat away. Chat away. So let someone read what I wrote. Read what I wrote. Read what I read. There you go. Or read. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting tongue twice. Twist around, twist around, twist around. Let someone read what I wrote. There you go. A bit of tongue twisting time. Blah, blah, blah. And they basically tore it down. I don't even think they read it properly. And at that age, I believed what people told me, and in a form of, I quite literally ripped it all up and burnt it. All those pages I just destroyed after a few words. And it wasn't until about 15 years later, was it 15 years later? No, it wasn't. It was about 10 years later. I was working up in London at the time in Twickenham, and I was speaking to this guy in a comic book shop, and he wrote his own stuff. And I said, yeah, I was doing my stuff. And he said, why did you stop? And I told him, and he called me an idiot. Well, fair enough. I was an idiot. I should never have. And he said, look, rewrite it. Go from the start and rewrite the entire thing. He says, really think about how the characters work. As most for a writer, that's one of the most important things you can do. You just put these characters down. Think about how their powers work, and then it'll make them more believable. And I did that, and I'd be walking down the pipe going to work, and I'm thinking, I'll give you an example. I was walking to work one day, and I was thinking, Speedstar. How can I make him? How does his powers work? Now, in the story already, he had this thing inside me. To start with, it was like mechanical. I wanted to introduce something new to the series. So I thought the idea of symbiotes, and I thought, right, a lot of my characters in the series are going to have these symbiotes inside them. And to start with, symbiote will awaken the power within them. Yeah, you got that? The symbiote awakens, but they don't become one. In time, they will become one, and they get more powerful when this happens. And there were two. I had two classes in the power classes in the comic series, not including base human and alien. Right. The first class is hybrid. Now, hybrid is when they have the shrine in them and their powers are activated, and they have obviously they're very very strong characters of one form or another. Activated. Now, for example, Speedstar. Let's go to him. He had this inside him, and it activated his power to run. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, yes, he runs, but how does it work? What if he runs around a corner and runs into something? You know, the speed he's moving at, he needs, you know. I thought, well, how does this blinking work? You know, how can I make a character believable, make it work? I thought, right, what if I give him a sense, like a sixth sense, that when he's doing something, and he wouldn't know he had this. And this is when I then generated the second class, which is the shrine form. And the shrine is when the symbiote and the hybrid become one. They become one. shrines are virtually immortal, very, very hard to kill shrines. And Speedstar became Hyperdrive, which is a shrine form of who he was. But I thought, before I can really get the potential for Hyperdrive, I have to show the power difference of the jump. So Speedstar, I didn't give him his fullest speed capacity. I just made him more enhanced. He can run faster than most athletes. So he can see, he's got that agility. He's got the agility of an athlete. So he can do jumping about and spins and stuff, what you see him doing, athletes and the Olympics and stuff. And he always carried a bow staff with him. And he used that with the manoeuvres. His sixth sense to him was he gave him what I call combat sense. So let's say someone went to hit him, his combat sense would see that punch coming before it actually came. He could dodge it easily. Rocky. When he became hyperdrive, the shrine form, the combat sense got changed into a secondary sixth sense, which tells him where he's running, if it's going to be a danger where he's going or not. So he wouldn't run into walls and stuff like that because that sense was stopping. He also, and this is what I mean about really looking into the characters. I thought, with the speed that Hyperdrive is going to be running at, his skin's going to be torn to shreds. The sheer force hitting him as he's running. So I thought, how can I stop this? And I thought, well, the shrine is acting one with the person to make them the best they could possibly be. They're going to change that. So what the shrine does, it changes parts of the host body and makes it more effective to work with the powers. So for Hyperdrive, who's based on me, obviously, his whole skin turned metallic. Give him that protection when he's running really fast. He has an Egyptian style headset that goes over his head, with fighters coming down here and stuff like that. And the faster he runs, the more the headset will change, to make him more aerodynamic. That's just Hyperdrive I'm talking about. A lot of the early ones had their names changed. Airfly Star got changed to Aeon, Aeon. And I thought about him. How does he fly? How does he do it? And I decided to give him the actual ability not to fly. He has the ability to control air molecules, and he flies by using that. And he was in the Air Force. No, he's not named after John. He's actually named after my brother, who was in the Air Force. And he discovered the first thing he'd want to do was fly, and he sort of started going up in the air, levitating like. But he didn't know how he was doing it. He just did it to save some people in an air balloon that was crashing or something. But and he became Aeon, and it's Camustar became Stealth. CompuStar, as I said, kept his name. Warstar, this is Star. Well, you can't spell, my lover. Stargrazer. What is Stargrazer SV? Starchasers. I'm talking about, Donna. These are the team members of Starchasers. Warstar. His name got well changed. He actually turned into an alien. He was no longer human. I made an alien. Made him really cool. And his powers were the same, but he was a member of a race called the Shaman, which used to be the dinosaurs. They were taken off Earth and taken somewhere else. There's so much I could tell you about the Star Chaser thing, and I won't have the time for it. What's my favourite planet? Well, that's a good question. I like that. My favourite planet. Well, everyone would think I'd say Earth because that's where we live. You like stargazing? There's nothing wrong with stargazing, mate. I've got my own telescope that I use, but I can't use it here because it's hard to see with the wrong area for it. I'll tell you a little one as well. I'm actually fascinated with Mars. I'm actually fascinated with Mars um, for more than one reason. I believe I believe that there used to be life there in the past. When you think how close to us Mars is, as in the type of planet that something happened to it and made it the way it is now, there's your answer, John. You're sidetracking me from the show. Sidetracking from the show. And Star Chasers. So still still got their powers in the way I love Mars bars. Okay, you're having fun. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I like Mars bars as well. I like Mars bars when they were known as. I was going to say marathon, but Mars was always Mars, wasn't it? I don't think Mars actually changed its name. Marathon Snickers it was Snickers used to be marathon. There you go. Yep. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I thought only men could have Mars bars. I was like Yorkie. One of the two. One of the two. So yeah, I recreated the whole storyline from scratch. Star Chases, as I was saying, is a comic I'm writing, a book stroke comic that I'm writing. Um, I call it Star Chasers because they're chasing the dream, this God thing that awakened them, asked them to do. Um, I can do it. I can talk about space if you'd like me to. In next, would you like me to talk about space next week, John? If you do, I can quite happily do that, and I'll even give you a shout out next week when I'm doing so. Um, so yeah, Star Chasers, and this group that started as five became immense because so many more people joined. It will be done next week. I'm talking about space. There you go. I'll repeat it when I finish the show next week. I'm talking about space and not the stuff between Donna's brains and Donna's ear holes. You never know. I could be the next Stan Lee, but before I become the next Stan Lee, I need a really good artist and stuff. I'm a good writer. I have the imagination, but I can't draw that one. You love it, Donna. You love it. You love it. It's only because it's true. Um, but yeah, so the five that I came up with became thousands, not quite thousands, maybe overstate a little bit, but there are many of them. Hyperdrive, Sign, joined the show. The dinosaurs became their own society called the Shaman, named after the Indian tribes. The Triceratops was amongst them. There's a Tyrannosaurus Rex amongst them. The raptors were amongst them. The pterodactyls were amongst that group. And that's completely sidelined. And the most important thing I had in Star Chasers was it's not it's in start it's the base. I actually rewrote the entire storyline around two characters. Um, one's called Time Walker, and the other one's called Genesis. And the reason is because these two are actually the same character. To confuse you, two characters, same character. And the reason being, at the start of the story, there's this guy called Time Walker, and he's in the really dark future. Think Terminator at its very, very worst, and then you got an idea of the future this guy comes from, and he is forced to leave where he lives and travel back in time, where he meets this god called Bermuda. And Bermuda is this character that he was the first ever character I ever designed. I was hoping to show you some drawings, but I couldn't find them on the show, so I do apologise for that. And Bermuda enhances gifts that he had at the time, and he became Genesis. Now, where Time Walker can travel back and forwards in time, and that's his biggest ability, Genesis teleports. And he has traces of time travel, but not as big as what he did when he was Time Walker. You got it? Now, but when this happened, it created a second timeline, which is where things may get a bit confused. You are indeed a goddess, Donna. You are indeed a goddess. I completely agree with that. And all the people I work with say that too, believe it or not. Um, so yeah, this guy called it became Genesis, who can then like teleport and stuff. The moment all that happened and Genesis arrived in the past and started doing what the community character asked him to do, it created a second timeline. It erased the first, just made a new timeline. And at the end of this timeline is another Time Walker. With me? But this Time Walker, unlike the Time Walker from the first timeline, is a shrine. So when he went back in time, he didn't need to be powered up because he was as fully powered as he could have been. So he stayed as Time Walker. You got these two characters running around, same guy, different names, slightly different power sets. They can't meet each other, and that's one of the things. They can't meet each other because one of them knows it's going to really screw things up if they meet each other. But unfortunately, Muda's opposite, who I call Lord Repulse, um, he wants these two to meet because he wants to destroy everything. That's what he does. But he cannot do things himself. He creates his own um, hybrid people who go up against the starchasers, and that was the basic when I actually started writing this stuff. But so many things come out of this. So other team, like I said, the Apache come out of it. No, I didn't. I said the Shaman come out of it. It does. I agree with that, John. But I was right. This probably to come out. Honestly. Um, I've gone blank again. See, got you guys like do this to me. I'll stop talking and I lose where I am. So what was I saying? Yeah. So you got these two, all these teams are being controlled by two entities trying to go up against each other. Like Bermuda for the force of light, and Repulse represents the force of darkness and chaos. And got all these things that happen. Atlantis is involved. You've got other teams. I already mentioned one's called the Apache, and Time Walker leads the Apache, whereas sort of Genesis is involved with Star Chasers. You've got Side Tech, which is like a sidekick team. You've got Earth Force or Force One. I think it's Force One. They got four elemental characters within them, and a lot of interlocking thing. And because of the time travel thing, well, actually, initially, although I wanted this to be done as a comic, I actually initially thought this should make a good book. And let me change that from book to books. And one book would be set in the present, one book would be set in the past, and the other book would be set in the future. And the idea was you could read any other book in any order, and you wouldn't have to read the other book. If you read all three of them, then everything would like make more sense. If you know what I mean. But I found it very, very confusing. I found it very, very hard to do this. I wrote it in. At the moment, it's still in scripted form. But I was then thought, no, this is supposed to be a comic. So I decided to go back to the comic side of it. Um, and there's so many characters in this thing now. I've taken um, of taking examples of things that I read, not taking the ideas because that's wrong. You're not supposed to take ideas from things that are going on, but taking um, the way things work. You know, um, it wouldn't be how hard it is to write. To be quite honest, it is so hard to write because you've got to think of original things all the time, and it makes my brain sometimes go. That's why a lot of the characters in the series are actually based on people that I know. And before anybody says it, before I'm waiting for the income of someone saying this, none of my characters are based on anybody that I've met in Exeter. Not yet. Not yet. I might do some further down the road, but at the present moment, none of the characters are based on people from Exeter. Most of the guys I've done are from people who I know from Reading, family members, and people I've been from school. And that way, you see, you can give people these characters personalities based upon people that you know. That's another trick I learned. You think, no. So, I hope I haven't bored you guys too much tonight. I've given you some form of inception of what Star Chasers is about, where it come from. Um, I'd like to say it might be an idea if I say this is part one of Star Chasers because there's so much that I can talk about Star Chasers, um, and I just haven't got the time to do it because I'm limited with time on the thing. I've got my dinner is ready in 10 minutes. I can't go too long. You see, I've just got some food in my belly. So I'm a man. You see, we need our food. We need my food. So if you've enjoyed the show, I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to be cutting the show off in a few minutes. Um, as I said earlier on, next week we are talking space. We are talking the planets. We are talking um, telescope that's discovering new planets all the time. Um, star signs we could be talking next week. Let me know what star sign you are, and I can see if I can find the constellation for you and stuff. God knows what I'm doing next week. It'll be based around space. Um, so if you've enjoyed this video, John, like the video. Please like the video. Um, if you want to see more, subscribe. Please subscribe, and you'll be told when things are coming out. And if you want to be told, especially when they're coming out, ring the bell. Ring the bell. A ding dong. A ding a ling a ling. I know you've already subscribed, but you haven't liked the video yet, John. Um, the other thing, and you rang the bell. That's a good boy. Yeah, I get you well trained. And the most important things I can ask you to do, and as I said, this is a new station, there's a new videos coming out. I need more people watching. So I did answer your last question. You asked me what my favourite planet was, and I told you it was Mars. Oh, I have a hard copy. So I didn't see that question, John. I do apologise. All the writing I have of Star Chasers is on a memory card. In fact, it's on this. Star Chasers is on that. All the written stuff is on that little thing here. I also have it in paper form as well. So people can read the paper form if you want to read it. More welcome to, mate. If you want to read it, you're more welcome to. I can bring it in and you can have a read. You might get confused. It's in typing form, so you won't have to deal with my bad writing and stuff. As I was saying, maybe one feed you can. You want me to read Star Chasers to you? You'll be here for about 3 to 4 hours. Honestly, you'll be here about 3 to 4 hours me reading you that. But that's if you want me to read it, it's a suggestion. I can go with that. But anyway, what I was saying, I mentioned the like, I mentioned subscribe, I mentioned the bell with my bad singing. But the best thing you can do for me, anyone that watches things, anyone that watches this show, tell your friends about it. The more people I can watch this video, the more things I can do. I need multiple people watching this on multiple devices so I can get their subscriptions and make my ratings get better and better so I can do more things. More things. What have I got for dinner? I've actually got one of my favourite meals. I must be a good boy, John. I've actually got one of my favourite meals. Spaghetti bolognese. Or I should say mushrooms with spaghetti bolognese. I love spaghetti bolognese. Oh, I'm not a massive fan of foreign food. I do say Italian spaghetti bolognese, beautiful. Lauren is drooling. Is that drawing or drooling? Tom, is that drooling or drawing? Oh, she likes spag. Oh, when was that, Lauren? When I get, if it helps, Lauren, when I get spaghetti bolognese, I get so much that it virtually falls off the plate. I get like a double helping. Beautiful. The only thing's like we got no bread to go with it. Ooh, ooh. Well, I'll enjoy it for you, Laura. Lauren, sorry. I'm speaking. I've got three people on board now. Who's the third person? Who's the third person? I always get someone who watches the show as I'm coming to the end of it. Usually, no, I don't actually like. I don't like garlic bread, John, and I don't put cheese on it. I like it as it comes. I do like a baguette bread. You know, the small batten ones with lushings of butter. I haven't ruined it. Honestly, I haven't ruined it because that's the way I personally like it. Everyone likes things in different ways. You, no, you. Yes, you're late again, Chris. You missed the whole thing. I'm just about to go. This is welcome to the show, Chris. This is the chap who wanted me to talk about Star Chasers, Star Chasers. Yeah, but he can always watch the thing after it goes on. I'll go on it because it's dinner's time and I'm getting hungry. Then I can't. I Gizmo, he'll get hungry because he leaves the plates after we've eaten it. So I've got to look after Giz as well. I can't have the cat going hungry, can I? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So please, yeah, as I say, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Please ring that bell and please tell your friends all about the show. The more people I can get to watch it, the more things I can do. So triple up to all my friends out there. Next week we're talking about space and planets and stuff like that. I've got a cough coming on. You're having dog shit for dinner. Lauren, I'd give him a slap for that. I would. I will quite happily show that. Lauren, I think you should give John a slap for what he just said. I'm sure your cooking is not what he put on that page. When you say you can do more, what more? There's more things I can do, like streaming and stuff like that. There's things that's hidden I can't actually manage to do. I've seen other people do it with their sites, things that they do. And I'm learning about what more I can do. I just want more people to like the video, Chris. More subscribers, more stuff like that. And yes, I'll keep my clothes on, Donna. I'll keep my clothes on. Unless you're around, I suppose I might take the t-shirt off for you. John, John, you're living life very, very dangerously. You hear this, Lauren? I'll get your frying pan out and knock him on the head with it, honestly. So, as I was saying, triple up to all my friends. Till next week, we were talking about deep space and stuff. For John, I'll see you next week. I'll see you guys at work next week. Have a lovely weekend. Please don't any sunburn and stuff like that. Till next one. Bye bye.